one where he says, what is it? Nothing matters but this. He was at a school event at the wrong team's tent with a knife. He clearly chose murder than to walk away, cut and dry here. Nope, wrong. Imagine you are invited to a party at someone else's house and you are legally carrying a firearm. And then a fight breaks out and or like an altercation breaks out between you and some guy and, there's drinking involved or whatever. I'm not trying to make a 1-for-1 scenario. I'm trying to create a potential scenario separate from this one with similarities. You go to a party. No, yeah, let's say you go to a party. And some guy starts saying stuff like, yo, man, get out of here. And you're like, I can do what I want. I was invited to the party. Verbal altercation escalates. And then the dude, you're standing there and you pull your sweater back and you've got a gun. You put your hand up and say, don't come close to me, bro. I'm warning you right now. Do not come close. Do not take another step. Then the guy grabs your arm and makes a move. So you draw your weapon and you use it. Okay, make the argument. You have no right to defend yourself when you're being attacked by a guy. Make the argument. By all means, go ahead and do so. I ain't going to do it. I don't know the circumstances. You can argue that you're in a place you're not supposed to be. You can argue it's that guy's house, and it doesn't matter. A guy can invite you into your neighbor could be like, come on over, brother. And then if he gets physical with you, you can defend yourself. And then what? The police are going to be like, well, you were in his house. And it's like, yeah, you invited me in. It's like, the door was open.
All right, guys, you see the clip with Tim Pool basically saying that this could be self-defense. He does not see the issue with it. Um, if the story is correct pertaining to Carmelo Anthony's side, that the guys tried to remove him or do something to him to harm him to get him out of the tent, and that he was defending himself with a knife, that it is self-defense, and I would agree with that. Uh, but the other side, Austin Metcalf side, is saying that it's not. They just told him to move, and they grabbed his bag, and then Carmelo went into the bag and stabbed him. Sounds like a lot is missing from the story, but I see a lot of conservatives are going against Carmelo Anthony, and I don't think it's just because of the story. I think a lot of them are tired of the media. I guess a lot of them are calling it black fatigue, or I would just say liberal fatigue. So the media has been covering white men in a negative light for a while, it seems like, and now they're just painting all black people as villains. And I think in this situation, this is one of them. Um, I started looking through the comments and looking through posts, and I see this guy named Gunther Eagleman, which I follow. He's another kind of race baiter type of uh, I guess X user. He put on here, Trump is going off and about the killing of white farmers in South Africa. Wonder why the media won't cover this. Trump put, how could we be expected to go to South Africa for the very important 620 meeting when land confiscation and genocide is the primary topic of conversation? They are taking the land of white farmers and then killing them and their families. The media refuses to report on this. The United States has held back all contributions to South Africa. Is this where we want to be for the G20? I don't think so. So here's what I'm saying. White people, especially white men on X at least, they can see the attack on white men across the world, right? And there is some stuff going on in South Africa. I'm not you know, too familiar on every detail. I know a little bit, but so now they're painting a broad brush of just anybody with dark skin at this point. Anybody from the African origins or African descent, right? So, but I find it hypocritical of a lot of white guys or white men saying that because they can see the attack going this way. They can see that uh, white men are under attack and all of this other stuff. But when black people say, "Hey, we're under attack," the media is doing the same thing to black men in other ways, which I believe as well. They paint us in a negative light, or they may use us to push a narrative. It's as if some of these conservatives cannot see this. So many of the conservatives are just siding with the white kid because they believe blacks are just on the attack of white people. Um, I don't necessarily agree that black people just want to harm white people. I don't see many stories of black people interacting with white people in a violent manner. Every once in a while you may see something like that outside of the George Floyds and that thing that happened down in Alabama. But looking at this, I see comments under this post, and this is the hypocrisy that kills me. It says, from the Gray Wolf, here's a plan. Bring all the white South African farmers here for asylum. Give them the land that China has acquired and set them up to farm here. Now, why would we want to do something like that? I thought we were trying to get all of the foreigners out of the country and make this, about true Americans. But it shows me is that white men, especially the ones on X, it seems like, because I don't know what the majority, of people feel about this, but I'm just going to speak on the ones that I see on X, and it's starting to be a growing population of them that tend to lean into Nick Fuentes type of thing. So I thought we were trying to get them all out of here, but you want to bring in the white ones, which is crazy to me because why would we want white South Africans who have a big issue with the original inhabitants who are South Africans, the black South Africans there, and it's come from an apartheid state. They got a long history with the racism and the violence and all this other stuff. Why would we want to bring them here and give them land over regular black and white American citizens? I think I know why. It's because these people are white over there and they're siding with them and they feel for them, which is fine. But if we're gonna be America against everybody or America first, you can't you can't pick and choose, when you want to have it because you believe that all black people are out to get white people. And this just plays into why white men or white people are supporting uh, Austin Metcalf is simply because he is white. So you're doing the exact same thing that the left, the black liberals, the white liberals are doing. They will support the black person because they're always in the victim state. That the black man is always getting whooped on by the white man, and that he needs to be protected, and that white men just hate uh, black people. So you're trying to be counterculture, but you're doing the same thing that the other side is doing. You're just defending him because he's white. The black people are just defending Carmelo Anthony because he's black. But yeah, I say all that to say a lot of these people are taking a side, and they're calling Carmelo Anthony a criminal and everything else. But Tim Pool and a lot of people feel that it's self defense. If you try to put your hands on someone and you defend yourself, then whatever happens to him. And a lot of conservatives said that about not what's his name, Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse, he kind of broke the rules a little bit, going all the way across state lines with a gun. But I am on his side with this. They were trying to harm him, and he defended himself. So it's the same thing. If if it comes to find out that Carmelo Anthony was defending himself, we don't we don't always get to dictate the level of force that someone uses against us if we start something. I don't know if Austin Metcalf started it. None of us really know just yet because all the details haven't come out. But I see a lot of white men are already playing victim and being very hypocritical on their self defense of things. So I think we should just let it play out a little bit longer and wait till it goes to trial because there's just not enough evidence or enough uh, to know about this at the point, because one side is saying that the twins were aggressors, the other side is saying that Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor, and the police have not released any videos or anything just yet. But y'all let me know in the comment sections below. Are conservatives being hypocrites against Tim Pool, or are they just tired of black fatigue? But y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll get back at y'all in another one. Peace.